Artem, you enjoyed
Yeah, it was amazing, but the better question, how was yesterday's evening and after party? So that's why I pick another water. Yeah, it was amazing, and my final thing was that I ordered kebab at 2 a.m. to just have a bit more freshness of today. But it didn't help. But I'll try the best today to do it.
Okay, I think you're in minority. We were two non-drinking people here, and you basically took one for the team yesterday, it seems.
Yeah.
I see.
Thank you.
We're so grateful. Now let's get a little bit of an intro round going. Can you guys talk about yourselves a tiny bit, about your own sort of career journeys? What brought you to where you are today, Dima?
I was hungry student, and my friend came to me and said, like, hey, do you want to do coding? I'll pay money for that. You know, like webcam, but for IT engineers. And this is where we started our first freelance company. And then like 20 years after, I found myself in Bangkok working in a company called Agoda. This is like Booking.com. We actually same company, Booking.com, but for Southeastern Asia. And I'm managing 3 teams, 3 product directions of Agoda right now. But yeah, money.
So you're also owned by Priceline then, same as Booking?
We are part of the Booking Holdings International Group.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Artem?
Yeah, so I originally, like, I born at Kharkiv in Ukraine, and I don't know, like, after school, I didn't know what to do, but I really loved like programming because I used to own World of Warcraft server and start to program when I need to maintain the forum for this. And then I decided to go to be lawyer and finished law school, like law academy, because it was just like trendy in Kharkiv. But during this education on the second, I think, stage, I just decided to do like part-time of education and just switch to programming, found some startup and just jumped and just, I don't know, learned how everything works and so on. Yeah, so, and now I'm here.
And what do you do for work now?
So yeah, I had talked yesterday, but in general, I, like, for the last 9 months, challenging myself with AI. I never worked with AI, and now I just switched to company which has own model, and we building the action agent, which creates and performs different things, like can book stuff and, I don't know, create presentation for and so on. And for the last months, I worked on code agent, so something like we decided to try if our model can create codes, like create cool apps, and it can. So yeah, and yesterday I showed it.
Right. So guys, let's start perhaps with right away with the big question. What do you think was the most embarrassing thing that you did at work, Dima?
I don't think that it was like bigger impact fuck up, but it was embarrassing for me personally and still live with me on that. So it was like many years ago, and I was this, popular speaker in Ukraine. I like kind of an expert, big names, all this stuff. And I'm working in a company called SoftServe, and I still remember this task. I need to configure some remote server, which was under Windows and running on Windows. And I'm going there through remote desktop something. I don't remember what the tool was. And yeah, I'm looking on configuration, like see, firewall. What the hell is firewall? I don't know why I never thought about that. So, and they're like, turn on firewall, the button. So obviously I'm clicking it, and it like logged me out because it's firewall. It's like, it protects you. So, and I like, what the hell happened? And obviously I cannot reach the server. I'm writing to IT support, like asking them, like, I'm very sorry, I did something. They're going there, fixing there. But I still have this, like, was it because I clicked that button? So like 3 minutes after, I'm going to this remote desktop, I'm running this server, I see that I can connect, and like, let me check if that was this button. And obviously I'm clicking it. And it was like, honestly, professionally, it was kind of embarrassing in the way that you're writing this ticket in 3 minutes because you've done so much stupid mistakes. And you're like blaming everybody being stupid on the internet, and then you're like, oh, that's me. So not that, like, big value fuck up, but it was embarrassing professionally.
How many years ago did that happen?
15 years ago, and I still remember that shit.
My God. And but after the second time, they fixed it, and you did not press that button later.
Yeah, obviously.
And then you learned.
I confirmed theory.
Yeah, and then you actually learned what a firewall was.
Yes, of course. That's the moment of Googling, right?
So this is actually like a very good sort of lesson learned, right? So all fuck-ups are a way to learn a lesson. Artem?
Yeah, so I also broke production and like did shit, but in general, I'm going to talk about different stories. So I used to like contribute to Babel, and we like it's transpiler for JavaScript, and it was just like 8 years ago, and everyone used it. And the idea was that we created it that Babel preset env. It's preset for Babel, which actually creates bundle based on your requirements. For example, if you don't need to support really old Internet Explorer, it will create more optimized bundle. And I worked on it, and then I started to work at Wix, and we had, like, I started to work at developer experience team, and our task was to improve performance of Wix. And Wix, it's like huge, yeah, like, I don't know, like around 9 million websites live now, in general, 150, I think, in general, millions created with Wix. So it's kind of important, and I just came, like, decided, okay, I'm going to show up myself, promote some idea, and my idea was to create few bundles with Babel preset env, some for development, like something for old browsers, some for new browsers, and then dynamically on the server, on the production, based on the headers, on the user agent, we can understand which environment, like which browser is it, and then share the best bundle for this. And they said, okay, it will optimize like a lot. We will just win like a lot of things because like people just fighting for 2 kilobytes of bundle size, and we'll just, I don't know, like cut it by 30%. And then I created this mechanism, and then we kind of tested it, but we had kind of feature flag, like not even feature flag, but just flag that helped us to trigger some specific header. And if you're not passing this flag, they show, like I didn't check it, but it's supposed to work. And then after 1 month in production or 2 months in production, I decided, okay, wow, it was released, I didn't see it. Like what performance like boost we will have, like what bundle size we will have, and so on. So before we had something like, I don't know, in general, like the gzipped and everything, like total 2 megabytes. And then I'm checking, and it's like 7 megabytes, and it's like 3 bundles. And other bundles like also a few megabytes, and like what the fuck, what happened, like why it's so slow, and it's in production for a few months. And then I started to check different performance metrics, and everything is so bad, like I don't know, up like loading, not I don't know, second, 2 seconds, but like 7 seconds. And I just, oh no. And then I started to figure out like what they did, it like broke it, like a lot, like all sites in Wix just really slow for a few months. And then I checked, like started to check logs and figure out that it was just like a cache mechanism that we have, because I really didn't want to wait like 1 hour for build. It took a lot of time with all tests and so on. So just cache stuff. And I didn't create normal like cache invalidation. So when developer bundle created, like in general, with all source maps, we had a lot of like HMR service inside, like everything that you can imagine for developer website. It just went in production, and finally like, oh no, we need to fix it. Yeah, so like nothing critical happened. If it's not really cool story, I can like share 5 stories how I broke production at all. But yeah, this is how I improved performance for Wix.
But wasn't it a red flag that everything was very slow for a couple of months and nobody cared?
So yeah, it's a good question.
That's like a Buddhist question. Is it a fuck up if nobody sees it?
No, we had that. Like I worked in one US company, and we launched in Australia. It wasn't like very big market, but then our servers died because of some mistake and so on. And for 3 weeks, nobody noticed. So,
I think here is the issue is how we test things. And in general, like I'm not really a big fan of unit tests. I don't know, like I really like, I trust end-to-end tests when you run production and so on. If you have unit tests, you create a lot of mocks, and finally you test in like a lot of mocks. And if you just like optimize and everything works really well, if you created some cool mocks and everything works, and production could be completely different. And here it's the same. We had some tests for performance, But again, these tests kind of triggered on the production bundle to be loaded because we added additional inputs and so on. So we didn't do it in production environment. We did it during build time and pull request and so on. And it created additional inputs, which finally wasn't really perfect for our case.
Yeah. And just to check, so by the show of hands, how many people here have ever broken production? Raise your hands. Good. More than once? Very few people here have actually learned from the first time, it seems. How about you guys? More than once? Once? Never?
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah. You probably can have some quote, if you only lazy, not breaking something, I don't know. You know some cool quote about it?
Yeah, you have to have some healthy curiosity, I suppose. So, I mean, Dima, you are now generally a manager, right? And this is something you're going to talk about more later. But I just wanted to ask something that has to do with this topic. Has becoming a manager, has it changed the way that you react to the fuck-ups of your own and the people around you?
When you are a manager, there is a huge problem, long feedback loop. So basically, you're making decision and you don't know if this is fuck up. You'll know that this is fuck up or not, in maybe a couple of months, maybe sometimes quarters. So it's getting you more stoic because you're making a lot of decisions and you have this anxiety for many, many months. And survival mechanism, what's happened, that happened sometimes. So that's leap of faith. And speaking about fuck-ups of other people, once again, as a manager, you need to grow your people. So you need to give them a chance to do fuck-ups. So sometimes you're just looking how they're fuck-up is a done thing, but you're looking like they're fucking up. And basically observing, maybe sometimes helping them, but this is still the moment, you cannot avoid to make them better professionals, so they will not fuck up on the easier things in future, but they will have harder fuck ups in the future. So you are preparing them and yourself for more fuck ups. So basically, you don't see this as an end of the world. It's rather a learning step.
Mm-hmm. How about you? So you're still an individual contributor, right? Or do you also manage people?
Yeah, I manage team.
So what's changed for you then?
I mean, I used to manage him before, and I think it's kind of mentoring here. When instead of just you see that something happened, as Dima said, but you're not just intercepting it and just saying, "Oh, I know it will." You are going to do some stuff. The same happened when we also had infrastructure team in Wix also. So we had on call and we had kind of support channel. And in a lot of cases, I saw error, and a lot of people just shared the error, oh, I have failed build. I have, I don't know, people came to us with anything, I have failed lint, and okay, and I have failed tests. And instead of just try to fix it, you still saying can you dive more and more? So you just allowing and letting people to, I don't know, do more mistakes, and then try to fix themselves. And in this case, it helped a lot. I think now with AI, it's not the same because currently, for example, you have Cloud Code or Codex or something like this, and then you just paste the errors that you have and you're just fixing it without really understanding what happened. Or you have broken production, you're saying, oh, I have broken production, fix it. So yeah, I think it's important for developers to try to still figure out the root cause of the issue, even if it's something TypeScript specific or something like this.
Yeah, of course. And Dima, you mentioned that the story that you told was not your, not the biggest, not the highest impact thing, but just the most embarrassing thing. So what was the highest impact fuck-up that you had? Was the most expensive, let's say?
I think the most expensive was actually my private. Not I lost some money for business. I lost shit ton of money for business, especially when you work. I was working a couple of years in fraud, anti-fraud systems, and obviously, losing money there is a part of the process. But from the personal front, I worked in this company, an US company, and I was I was engineering manager, senior engineering manager there. And that was the moment when, COVID ended, and 2022, economy goes to shit, our stock's going down, I need to pay a lot of taxes. I see that stocks which I received from this company now cost less than I paid taxes because they were like super all-time high. And we had layoffs. So some people are leaving, and obviously like you're kind of in this depressed state. And a senior leadership team decided to keep like their high performance, and they were giving us like really, really big pack of like stocks for 1 year. Like huge. Like I never earned that much money in one moment. But that time, stock cost like $8 or something, so multiplying this RSU for 8, it gives you not that huge number. And I'm deciding to leave the company, even despite the fact that I believed in this company a lot. I understood that this is just the moment, but I was in a bad moment. And I decided to leave the company. And I'm joining another company, which I'm working now, that's like in Bangkok. I'm relocating from US, and then stocks getting back. And they're like getting back significantly. They're getting back 10 times. And they were giving you this huge pack for 1 year only. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and you start to like calculate, like you can work for 1 more year in this goddamn country, but you can get this huge financial boost, which probably can make you, independent financially.
Like a life-changing amount.
Yeah, that significant life-changing amount. And now, I mean, like, that's continuing Fuckup because stocks are like growing, and you're like, oh, I probably can have like meal, then 2 meals. Oh my God. So, but anyway, that was the most expensive mistake for me. I hope that's the most expensive mistake for me for life, hopefully.
So do you regret that now, though?
I regret this very much. I mean, like, when we started, I told you that my career movement was because of money. And I just walked away from this huge, huge pack.
I see. Artem?
Dima, based on your shoes, I wouldn't say that you did mistake. Based on your shoes, I think you just still have a lot of money.
Okay, you can show your shoes. You can show your shoes to the audience, just so they understand. I think they're amazing.
It's gold. It's gold.
No.
Pure gold.
The fact is, I do believe in that company, and I haven't sold any stock which I received in the beginning, so it's not that bad, but it can be way better.
I see. Artem, what was your most expensive fuck-up, do you think?
I think, I don't know, I don't have, like, probably I also fucked up the stocks and did some mistakes in my career. But I think the obvious one, like, I helped some team to, like, bootstrap the application, and we configured AWS services and everything. And when I did it, I added my credit card, to most payments from AWS. And like it worked fine because I tested it and everything fine. And then I forget to remove it. And people start to like use the service more and more. And then I think after 1 month, I had like bill from, I think around $11-12K from my card. And I like, oh, interesting, what's happened?
Yeah, that's a good reaction.
It shouldn't be taxes, like, because it's more, like taxes usually more than this. And I checked and then just asked to to fix it, and guys wasn't really like fast to do it. I waited like almost like, I don't know, 5 months, and I started to worry, thought, oh no, like probably they won't do it. But yeah, it wasn't really cool. So if you're testing something, just not use your main credit card. And if you're building something, also try to clean up everything that you could do.
Right. So are most of your fuck-ups, like, are you grateful to have had them, or do you think most of them were rather just unnecessary and you could have done without?
I'm very grateful for fuck-ups. Like, if it's very expensive fuck-up, you can flex on it, right? So, I walked away, I did that, like, blah, blah, blah. So you can have cool story for a party. But some of fuck-ups are getting, especially like if you're working in a big company, right? So, when I worked at a firm, I joined a firm because CEO of a firm was Max Levchin. And Max Levchin, who never heard about him because like the audience is younger, when like 20 years, like maybe
what are
15,
you implying here?
Yeah, even 15 years ago, we didn't have that many like startup stars, right? And Max Levchin and Peter Thiel were the like proud fathers of PayPal Mafia. And they were kind of my heroes of like where I want to be. And then like company of Max Levchin invited me to join, and I'm like, oh, of course, yes. And because of one fuck up, like when the company is gathering all together on solving this, and Max was there, and I was proud fixer of the problem. I was actually proud creator of the problem, but I also proud fixer of the problem. Give me a chance to work with Max, and then we started talking, and we actually met a couple of times. And that was like because of this mistake, like which I'm grateful. I made kind of this dream comes true on the way that I saw hero of my childhood, and we discussed coffee. I mean, Max loved coffee a lot, and that's what we were talking about. But yeah, like super grateful for any fuck up, and it's also like it's all about you, what you can get from the fuck up, because you already lost something. So think how you can gain from it.
Right, no, that makes perfect sense. And since one of my goals today is to get to know the audience a bit better, could you please raise hands if you know who Max Levchin is, if you knew it before Dima started talking? Okay, we have a very young audience here. So, but you could Google the man. He's a very interesting person. Artem, how about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I think in general, it helps you to learn on your mistakes. It's obvious. In general, I think it's also important how you react on this fuck up, when it happened immediately or before it happened, and you know it will happen. For me, if something bad happens, I already know that it's for something good, because I'm trying to be optimistic, and it really helps because then you start to project your life based on these consequences of this fuck up. And then these consequences actually avoiding more fuck-ups in the future, which is really amazing. So fuck-ups is normal. I think, that's why we also have this session to show everyone that everyone has fuck-ups, and we can just share in these issues together. So yeah, it's important to be optimistic about it.
Yeah, no, this makes perfect sense. In the meantime, may I please ask Jana to perhaps get the handheld mic, and we will take questions from the audience. Do we have any questions right now? Could you please raise your hand if you have a question to Max or Artem at this point? Okay, I do not see any hands, but if you will, please try to get Jana's attention, and she will come to you, and we will continue on stage in the meantime. So what do you think would be your advice to someone who is, let's say, worrying too much about their fuck up, or perhaps they're in the middle of trying to fix what they've caused?
It's gonna get better. No, seriously, if you have really hard problem, or it depends, right? If you are fucking up or fucked up, and if you are in the middle, I mean, think about mitigating the risk, obviously. If you already done the thing, cut the loss and move on. But for you already paid for that, right? So you already paid for this life lesson. Try to get from it something and bring it in future, because you will have another chance to make the same fuck up for sure. And that will be on you to do it again or to do it differently.
And did you ever actually get into significant trouble because of a fuck-up that you caused? Or was it always sort of seen as a learning experience by your superiors, for example, your managers, your colleagues?
I mean, if you are working in a company and you are making genuine mistake or genuine fuck-up, if we can say that, what worse can go with you, right? So maybe you'll be laid off. If you're doing something illegal, I mean, that's not fuck up, that's really fuck up. And I mean, you need to understand consequences, so basically, of your actions. But we are, us being in IT, we are amazingly blessed to the point that mistakes, fucked ups, and other things, they are expected. Mm-hmm. They are not we have this environment, not finger pointing. We have this environment of how to learn, how to do things differently, and other stuff. So I don't think that there are a lot. I don't think that for most of people here, making problem in your making fuck up in your job will bring you to serious consequences. Mostly that will be for your senior leadership team, for a company and so on. But we kind of protect it. Like, yeah, mistake was done, let's fix it. Or you better look for another job, or maybe sometimes for another industry. But in general, I don't think that I ever got into serious problems because of that. So yeah, I think like if you are making fuck up, don't worry, just think about the value.
That's very reassuring. We have a question from the audience.
Hi. So thanks a lot for sharing everything you said about your fuck-ups, but I wonder how you deal with the fuck-ups coming from the people who report to you, where you are inevitably accountable for those issues, let's call them so.
I mean, for me, for my reports, we got this concept of bucket of shit. So if you're doing something and you're failing, we'll get our own bucket of shit, but we're gonna eat it together. So, and mostly I'm as a manager, I need to protect my people, so I'm eating half of the bucket. Then their manager eating another half of the bucket, so it's like quarter. And then they need to end up with this quarter, but it's their goal not to repeat it again. If mistake is repeated, we don't like to eat the bucket of shit again. So that's where consequences start. And that will be like, problems in your performance review, questions on your performance review, evaluation of your performance, which obviously gets to the financial state. But in general, like, this is okay to make mistakes. It's not okay to make them twice.
Artem?
Yeah, from my side, I think in general, it's important to have this environment, as Dima described, and his team has, when a mistake is fine and it's not personal. And for example, if you have post-mortem, it's not about blaming someone, it's about avoiding next mistakes. And it's completely fine. But I also see like in industry that some guys working in some weird teams when manager, I don't know, it's not really manager by nature, and it just like happened. Like, I don't know, and managers really push hard on people, like blame everyone and so on. And it happened, it really can happen in a lot of different companies. But it means that it's probably not the best company that you have, and try to figure out something else because it's just fine. And I really don't have advice for these managers because, guys, probably it's not your place, and maybe try to, I don't know, go to some courses or something like this. But for people who work in this environment, really like try to critically think. You're really smart, and you might just have really bad manager.
Yeah, absolutely. We have more?
Yes, thank you guys. And what I want to ask is, how do you manage the emotional damage of the fuck-ups that you do? So you let down a lot of people, you feel depressed. How can you handle it emotionally and do the proper actions to like handle and resolve the situation?
I can hear some very genuine trauma in that voice, guys. Dima?
I am, in most cases, very emotional. So obviously, I lost my temper many times. And this is a very hard problem to solve, to be honest, even for me. And if the things are happening and you feel that you're making decisions without thinking with your brain, but rather emotions controlling you, go sleep. If harm is done, your immediate response and other things will not change, in most cases, almost anything. So before writing this comment, before writing this answer, it's better to disappear, go sleep, and reply in the morning. In most cases, that will be totally different reply. And if, like I did one experiment, I wrote a response when I was emotional, but haven't sent it. And then I wrote response in the morning. And if you see these two responses, they are coming from different people. So this is my advice to you. If you see that emotions overwhelming you, don't drink, don't smoke, go to sleep.
Artem?
Maybe smoke. But, sorry. From my side, I think it's also important to not blame yourself also, and like not like blame someone, but also yourself. Try to keep these emotions and try to not blame all the time initially, but try to rethink about it in 1-2 hours or maybe next morning. It's really important. in general. Yeah, and also if you're really emotional about something, try to find the root cause. Maybe it's not this issue. So if you're emotional about something broken in production, it's probably like, and you start yelling or I don't know, like blaming everyone. It's probably not about this issue specifically. It might be just something that you like keep and didn't react to and you didn't like, and then it's final kind of dot in this whole story, and you just start to like yell and do some crazy stuff. So for me, for example, I also had this like really expressive things, and I like really didn't like a lot of stuff and like so on. And then I just tried to figure out with my issue, and like for me it was like ADHD, and then I went and started to like handle this, and then everything became much easier.
Yeah, and one more thing, like think about fucked up, right? If it's already fucked up, the worst is done already. You went through this. Everything is like fucked up already. So don't make it worse. Like think how to make it better. Don't blame yourself. In the end, like you had a chance to make fuck up because of your previous successes. So don't erase these successes. And you already survived. Now go live your life.
Now, this is a very good point. Yeah, do not let this erase your successes and the positive things that you have experienced. Another question I see.
So you mentioned that it is important from the management side, or if you take in some leadership role, to let these fuck-ups happen for people in the team to get this experience. But like my question, how do you approach if you see that something is about to happen, and do you have such cases that you decide that you are willing this fuck-up to happen for your team members to get some experience? And if you do, what is this subtle edge when you decide if to allow this to happen or not to happen? Thanks.
That's a really good question. I think we had this on stage yesterday as well, that in some cases it is indeed better to let the fuck-up happen. So where is the threshold?
Now I'm switching to manager. It depends. No, but seriously, like if you see that fuck up is having like significant value, right? So maybe it's better to think about plan B and other stuff. But it also depends on what level you're playing, right? So if you think that like US corporate games, everybody expects you to fuck up. Like everybody see where it goes and nobody saves you, just because they want to take your place or they want to take your bonus or other stuff. So it all depends on the level you're playing with. And if this can, some people are sacrificing companies just to prove the point. Like look on Elon Musk, right? That's the richest person in the world, and he can burn the whole world down just to prove his point. So it depends on your level. It depends on how big is fuck up, and it also sometimes depends if you can do something with that. Because sometimes you see the fuck up is happening, and if you start like screaming that this is fuck up and being this whistleblower without any solution, you're just screaming kid, which is not bringing anything to the table. So if you see that you can deal with it, try to deal with it. If you think that lesson which person will get from fuck up is bigger than what you're gonna save, let's buy this lesson, invest in your people on allowing them making fuck up. And how Buddhists are saying, like, if you can deal with the problem, deal with it. If you can't deal with the problem, that's not your problem. Why are you worried?
But have you had an example there, like, of your team member, let's say, basically you letting a team member to just fuck up for the learning purposes?
A lot. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not letting them to do fuck ups which will bring them to leaving the company. But if they if they're stubborn, they don't listen, they don't accept, they don't see your perspective, or we are working with amazingly smart people, and they have amazing, great ideas. But sometimes even great ideas are not working because we need stupid idea. So let's first run the rocket and then drive a bike.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Artem?
Yeah, I think threshold is also not about consequences that could potentially happen, but also about amount of different notes, comments that you do before this, some hints and so on. So like you're still trying to like give person a chance to figure out that something could be happen. And it's not about like giving like letting someone to make mistake. It's not about just waiting and like not saying anything and just like silently waiting until he'll do some fuck up. No, instead you're just giving hints. You're trying to help person. You're trying to your point on this on this moment is to let person to figure out how to fix it or that something could be happened, and like you giving more and more and more hints about something that could happen. And threshold is when probably it's like too much for yourself, when you just like completely waste it, and then yeah, it could be, oh no, probably I'm going to fix it before I broke something really huge.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so I think we are going to wrap it up for now. Just we're gonna go into a very short break of a few minutes to fix the stage before Dima will actually come back here to talk about the transition between individual contributor and manager. In the meantime, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about Fuckups. Thanks a lot for coming and listening. Please give another round of applause to Dima Maleev and Artem Yavorskyi.
Thank you.